So we left last time about the sugya of Ruach Hakodesh and our time and so on. And we kept on saying all the time that today Ruach Hakodesh appears by Chachamim through the Koach Chochmah that they have, learning the way we said to learn. By the way, this is how you get to that. So what happened if I have an Am Haaretz, a person who is not a scholar, and all of a sudden he comes and he's able to see things and powers and all kind of stuff like that, What do we do? The Rashba said like this, he refused to believe to anybody like this. And he said, regarding such a matter, not to believe to an Am Haaretz shelo shimesh chachamim, who did not only learned, served under, like an apprentice under Chachamim. Leshamesh Talmid Chacham is not just to sit down and learn, it's actually to see how he lives and to be engaged with the Talmid Chacham, not only in Torah, in all aspects of life. As the Gemara says, afilu sichat chulin, even regular talk of a Talmid Chacham, drusha iyun. You need to learn, because the way they look at things is different, so you need to learn how they interact with that. So he says that Talmid Chacham, Am Haaretz, it did not shimesh Talmidei Chachamim. He brings, and all of a sudden, all these books, with chidushim, the wonderful chidushim, and he says that those chidushim were revealed to him by Ruach Hakodesh. The Rashba says it is impossible that a simple person would be able to reach such level, such secrets of the Torah by a malach, an angel, or Megid, or some kind of a spiritual entity in quote-unquote Ruach HaKodesh. Why? Because Chazal had handed to us specifically the conditions, the very clear conditions, in order to be able to reach those wonderful chidushim and so on and so forth. And since today there's no prophecy, and we already had established that Ruach HaKodesh Shorah dwells upon only in a person who is Adam Kasher V'Chasid, only a person, not a Chosid. Chasid, that means he goes through the details of his Avodat Hashem, and Yeshlo, and he has Ma'alot Hamidot, his qualities, his own personal qualities, are great. U'Ma'alot Sichliot, and he needs to be smart on top of that. Kenevi'ei Emet, like the true prophets. Only a person like this could come up. Well, I don't care whether you came up with other stuff if you don't fulfill those conditions. What you have is something else, but it's not Ruach HaKodesh. Again, Ruach HaKodesh comes from a place of, as its name, a spirit of Kedusha. Ruach, spirit. Kodesh, Kedusha. If you don't have Kedusha, you will not have the spirit. If you don't have the spirit, you don't have Kedusha. You need to live your life in Kedusha, in sanctification, to sanctify yourself, your thoughts, your ways, your actions, your words, everything. They need to be holy in order to have a Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit does not come in a dirty place. And it says, and his conclusion is, Ki noach liYisrael lisbol ol hagalut. It's better for the Jews to suffer the hardship of exile, me'amin bedavar ad she'yachkeru chakira le'asir kol siyag bedavar u'b'ikvo, and so on and so forth. And it's better for the Jews to suffer all the galut than to believe in something that guy just made up like this without a chakira, an investigation. Again, as we said, to understand deep and to believe in such bubamaites. Unfortunately today, you see it today, people believe in all these, like, people with powers and so on, and this one, and And the danger is that it becomes borderline avodah zarah. How can I believe a person has a power? God has a power. If I want something, so I'll speak to Him. It's very, very dangerous. It's very dangerous. If you would understand the interaction between, let's say, gurus and their flock, or whatever you call them, you will see how slowly we could be drifting towards that. And Chachamim says, no, we can't do that. You have to be very careful. The path to tum'ah, to impurity, is much shorter, faster, and more powerful than to go the path of kedusha. We're not talking about the end result. Talking about the immediate gratification of the tum'ah is on the spot, because otherwise, why should a person, get himself dirty? He gets immediate gratification. Kedusha takes time. Takes time to build and maintain, and people don't want that. We want it immediately. And to continue further, the Rosh Yeshiva, I'm sure you know of Avad Shalom, Arav Yaakov Hillel, very, very interesting person. He said that Halacha L'Maaseh today, it is impossible in any way, shape, and form, the person who is not Gadol BaTorah, doesn't have a lot of Torah, Sheyeh Baal Hasaga V'oseh Plaot. It's impossible for a person like this just doesn't have the tools to merge into that dimension, to connect to that dimension, to be able to reach from there. You don't have the tools. You might have a crazy mind, but those tools you don't have. You don't possess that. Even if a person has a yichus, so that everybody's yichus. We don't care about the person, we care about the yichus, right? Or he's a grandson to a great rabbi, and so on and so forth. That thing means absolutely nothing. So if your great-grandfather was the Admor from Bangkok, from what? There's no Admor from Bangkok. Some kind of Admor, which is really so pathetic, right? Oh, my grandfather was that. Okay, what are you doing for that? Every secular Israeli that wants to get something, my grandfather was a rabbi. Okay, well, how about you? Right? Even that the Zchut Avot lo ta'amod lahem liot ba'al Ruach Hakodesh po'alei Yeshuot. That does not come as an inheritance from your ancestors. That's something that if you want, you're going to inherit yourself by your work, by your doing. That's why I have a problem with all the Hasidim, with the Admor. The Admor dies, right? So they call him Kedushat Admor, the holy Admor. He dies. His son, 2 seconds later, I don't know what's doing. All of a sudden, he becomes Kadosh. It goes like this. Not for me. So, but if the person worked on himself, if let's say the Bachor is, he works on himself and he learns a lot of Torah and he refines his midot and he gets something, then the Zchut Avot, the merit of the father, comes and becomes a leverage to lift him up higher. But if you don't work on yourself, Zchut Avot is not going to do anything for you. It's nothing. So a person like this needs to be mamash makpid. He needs to be careful. B'mitzvah kala v'chamura. For him, mitzvah is a mitzvah. There's no saying that's a greater mitzvah. I'll do it. That's a smaller mitzvah. I don't have to do it. Mitzvah is mitzvah, and I'll do things because of the mitzvah, not because of what I get out of it, and so on. But that's for a different topic. So therefore, if this is the case, the madriga Ruach Hakodesh Ona'atayim, it can only be reached from mikoach hasagat chochmat hachachamim. Connecting yourself, because that's tangible to us. By connecting to the greatness of the great people, we become great ourselves. In Lashon HaKabbalah, it's called Ha'atzala, Olam Atzilut, where the shadow casting upon it gives it the light. That's where it derives from it. So that's the only way. We cannot, connect to the prophets. It's gone for us. However, to the Chachamim, we can. How? Pay attention to what they say. That's why Chachamim needs to be careful with what they say themselves. But pay attention to what they say. Anything. If you're sitting with a rabbi, and the rabbi decided to talk to you about stock market, and he's a big Talmid Chacham, you listen to what he's saying, because for you, that's Torah. Torah is a way of life. Torah does not exist only in the book. And you got to do everything in your life according to Torah. So how do you know how to do business if not by Torah? And who will know to do it better? The Talmid Chacham, the rabbi. You want to invest in the market. Yes, the Gemara talks about how to invest in the market. Right? The Rabbi Yitzchak says, right? In the Bavas. Right? Le'olam yeshalesh adam amono. Put money here, right? So even that, so the only thing Rabbi Yitzchak said, even something like that needs to be learned. So the only way for me to reach that is to connect to the Chokhmah, because that is something that is within my reach. I can reach that. And if a person needs to understand that learning Torah is good, but learning Torah itself is not enough. There is a way to learn Torah. If you learn Torah, kicking your feet up, sitting on your recliner, that's very nice, but those levels you're not going to be able to reach. Arak al yedei prishut, when a person is parush, dedicating, again, this is like amazing how we started today, dedicating your life, secluding yourself to be poresh for everything else. Somebody said to me the other day, American Jews and this and that, people living for Israel, a whole political thing. I said to him, Habibi, I don't understand, how do you have time to read those articles? He sent me an article, he lives in Israel, he sent me an article that he found on Yahoo about Democrats and Americans, and a third of Americans support boycotting Israel. And I said to him, how do you have time to read this? Instead of doing that, did you learn Eruvin appropriately? Do you know how to do Eruv Chatzarot? Do you know how to bring Trumot Ma'asot? You know what cycle of Trumot Ma'asot we have? Do you know Halachot Nida appropriately? Do you finish Halachot Shabbat, by the way? How do you have time to look at those things, At what capacity are you looking at it? So you would think that you are, listen, you're learning Torah, but to reach that level, you need to be parush, almost in seclusion, like remove yourself from the rest of the world. Parush means peireshin. So if you want to do davar shafir, that is good, you have to be poresh from all the refesh, which is the feces of the world outside. It's all there, you gotta look. And then you zoche to dvarim arbe, many things. And maybe you will be able to be zoche to the madrega, what's so-called tushiyah. Tushiyah is the ability to give good advice to people who would ask you questions, בענייני דעלמא, או בענייני Torah. Okay? Then people will ask you questions. You'll be able to give them good advice, and that's what Rav Kanievsky also wrote in his sefer. He says, "Hey, ach, ראינו הרבה פעמים אצל הגדולים שלאחד עונים כן ולשני." To one person they say yes, and to the other person on the same question they answer no, the opposite. And he says, וזה הכל לפי מה שנותנים לו מן השמיים בפיו, מה לומר, וזה גם כן מעין נבואה קטנה. That's according to what they give him from Shamayim to say. For that, and I've seen those things myself. One time I went to this particular rabbi, one said who, and as I'm coming in to ask, somebody else comes in and asks him the question that I want to ask. I say, Mishamayim. Let me see. So the rabbi says, sure, not a problem. You could do so, not a problem. Do this, do this, do this. And I said, well, that's very strange, but let me ask the rabbi myself. So I says, well, Rabbi, I have this similar question, same question. Let me ask you, if this is the case for me, should I do the same thing? He says to me, no, for you it's asur. I said, what? He said to me, no, for you it's asur. I said, why is asur? To him, you said 2 seconds later. I want to understand the logic. He says, because I know that if I'll tell him asur, he's going to do it anyway, and then he's going to violate. So I find a way for him to do within the boundaries that is allowed. I find a way to do something that for you, since you are Ben Torah, you need to live your life on a different level. And I said, wow, that's a tremendous lesson to learn. Rav Kanievsky says, that's begeder nevuah. It's like a small prophecy. To be able to tell, because the prophets used to tell you, right? You went to a guidance counselor, to the guidance counselor, you should be a doctor. You go to the prophet tells you should be a landscaper. And then you win the Nobel Peace Prize for landscaping because that was your destiny. So is a Chacham who is very clear, and his perception of the world is untinted. Only he would be able to give you an answer that is what we call tushia. Tushia from like a small Yeshua, right? Le'amituta shel Torah. And that's one of the things that some people write, and when they get the smicha, ואני בטוח, and I'm sure that כל קהילה שתקבל אותו לרב ומורה צדק, any קהילה that is going to accept him to become a rabbi, and so on and so forth, תהנה ממנו תושייה רבה ועצה לאמיתותה של תורה. And that's what it means for that. So when you get your smicha, it says, והריני לעטרו בעטרת החכמים אשר הולמתו. I'm crowning you with a crown of rabbinical crown, which fits you right. And therefore, a smicha should be given only to a person who had shown to work is first of all on his midot, and then on his Torah, and then on his ability to be meshamesh talmid chacham. And after you do that, you are on the way to guide the people, because to guide Am Yisrael, at least you need to have Ruach Hakodesh, if not a prophet like Moshe Rabbeinu. So that's the siyata d'shemaya that you get because of that. So that's the beginning process of that. So Rabotai, it is something that it's tangible to all of you. All of us can reach this level. All of us can reach this level. The question is, does any of us wants to be involved in getting to this level? And that's the question to be asked. Ruach HaKodesh is coming in our ways. We can have it. And believe me, and I'm telling you, if you would be willing to learn le'amituta shel Torah, to learn, and after you learn, you would be willing and won't be lazy to be willing to give a shiur and to help people learn. You will guide them. I am telling you, you would see a miracle happen to you every time you open your eyes. How from above HaKadosh Baruch Hu is giving you the answers and guiding you appropriately to guide the people for that. That's why if somebody gives you an opportunity to teach, whether it's one person, two people, or 300 people, you need to be so thankful and need to do whatever you can in your power to continue that, because ultimately that's your gift. You are going to taste a little bit of what is called Ruach HaKodesh, and it will change you. So Rabotai, we have a lot of work to do, and happy Ruach HaKodesh to all.
Right.